Hello students, teachers, parents, history nerds. Hello everybody, and welcome to Nutshelled History, where we lay out the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We continue with our Early America series by looking at reform and women's rights. Check the description down below for a fill-in-the-blanks worksheet that goes along with this video. I just ask that you like and subscribe. I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. I do my best. Okay, let's go. The period between 1810 and 1860 is sometimes called the era of reform because there were so many movements for social reform at the time. Political ideals, changing conditions in cities, and a religious movement called the Second Great Awakening lit the fires of reform. Dorothea Dix, a Boston schoolteacher, led the effort to improve prisons and the care that the disabled received. The temperance movement, a campaign against alcohol abuse, took shape in the 1820s. It won a major battle when Maine became the first state to ban the sale of alcohol in 1851, and 8 other states followed. As more men won the right to vote, reformers argued for better education, saying that a republic needed educated citizens. Under the leadership of Horace Mann, Massachusetts built new schools, sorted children into grades by age, and improved the training and pay of teachers. By the 1850s, most northern states had set up free, tax-supported elementary schools. Other activists led the drive for education for African Americans, the deaf, and the blind. Women who were active in abolitionism and other reform movements began to demand rights as equal citizens. Among them were Sojourner Truth, who had been born into slavery, and Lucretia Mott, a Quaker and an abolitionist. Together with Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Mott organized a convention for women's rights held in Seneca Falls, New York, in 1848. About 200 women and 40 men attended, among them Frederick Douglass. They voted for resolutions that demanded equality for women. The only resolution that met with opposition was the one that demanded that women have the right to vote. It passed, although narrowly. The Seneca Falls Convention was the birthplace of the women's rights movement, the organized effort to improve the political, legal, and economic status of women. Stanton and Susan B. Anthony worked closely together. Anthony traveled around the country, speaking to promote their cause. They also convinced New York to pass a law protecting women's property rights. Many other states followed, some even revising their laws to allow married women to keep their wages. The women's rights movement focused much attention on education. In 1821, Emma Willard opened a high school for girls in New York, where students learned subjects such as math and science. In 1837, Mary Lyon founded the first women's college, Mount Holyoke Female Seminary. Colleges began opening their doors to women. Elizabeth Blackwell became the first woman to earn a medical degree. Women began to make their mark in other fields as well. Okay. And now it is time for the recap. The era of reform, 1810 to 1860, was like a 50-year-long group project where everyone had a cause to champion. The Second Great Awakening lit the fire, and reformers sprinted in every direction. Dorothea Dix fought to fix prisons and care for the disabled, while the temperance movement waged war on booze, with Maine leading the charge in 1851. Education got a glow-up thanks to Horace Mann, who made sure kids were sorted by age instead of chaos, and activists pushed for schools for African Americans, the deaf, and the blind. Women like Sojourner Truth, Lucretia Mott, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton weren't just helping with abolition. They also demanded their own rights at the 1848 Seneca Falls Convention, despite some grumbling over women voting. Spoiler, it passed. Stanton and Susan B. Anthony teamed up like a dynamic duo, convincing states to let women keep their wages and property. Meanwhile, trailblazers like Mary Lyon, Emma Willard, and Elizabeth Blackwell cracked open the door to education and medicine for women, proving reform was everybody's business. There you have it, folks. That is reform and women's rights nutshelled. Thanks for stopping by Nutshelled History. It is here that you have the right to smash those likes and subscribe buttons for me. Which reform do you think was the most important? Let us know in the comments down below. See y'all next time on Nutshelled History.